Hello, I'm Terry Rivers, Jericho Project Veteran Peer Specialist, and I enlisted in the U.S. Army National Guard in 2011. I expected it to be a learning experience, not a deployment. But after the death of Osama bin Laden, tensions were rising and they needed more troops in Afghanistan. So I was deployed to Kandahar, the second largest city there, and that was an entirely new world for me. I had always been interested in the arts, beauty, fashion, but instead I found myself building communications and establishing infrastructures for field occupational bases all throughout the southern region of Afghanistan. That meant mapping out floor plans, setting up cabling for computers, satellites, other maintenance systems, and bases. A lot. I became an expert in communications and also cybersecurity, all while maintaining a gladiator mentality. I woke up every morning at 5 a.m. to go to work out, go to team meetings, and then go build regular sites for communications. We worked about 8 to 10 hour days regularly. But when I returned back to New York City in 2013, I realized life hadn't stopped for me. When you're in the military, you have a purpose and a sense of belonging to the overall goal of defending our country and democracy. But then you take off the uniform and your contract is over. If you don't have the right support system and the resources and tools for you, it can be very hard. I mean, you know you have to work, you have to support your family, but you may not be able to find the right job. And sometimes employers don't find or recognize the skills veterans acquire in the service. We want to go into a new direction, but sometimes it's not possible. So from 2013 to 2015, I was struggling to find work. But since spending time with a lot of reservists every month, I was able to keep that connection to those who were feeling the same things that I was feeling. But once my contract was completed and my support system went away, the impact of civilian life really hit me. I got up every day to work, but I also found myself feeling displaced and sinking into sadness. I was feeling I had to meet the expectations of friends and family, but I was hurting inside at the same time. It became harder to make ends meet, and I eventually ended up living with friends on their couches, couch surfing. But even though I experienced kind of homelessness that a lot of veterans do, I knew I could get the support from the VA. So that's when I decided to go back to school and get my associate's degree in fashion at the Art Institute at NYC, and then followed that with my cosmetology license at Empire Beauty School. I knew I wanted to open up my own business, so I got my certification, my license, and then my degree. But at the same time, I found myself spending a lot of time helping fellow veterans find their way as well. So in 2018, I joined Jericho Project, which has been a life-changing experience for me. I've been able to offer other veterans a space that is free of judgment, where they can relate to someone who understands what they've been through. Regardless of which war you fought in, we all speak the same language. I'm also going to school to Metropolitan College of New York to complete my bachelor's degree so I can become a case manager here as well. But since COVID-19 shut down, I keep in close contact with veterans by phone and text. I make sure they have their medical supports in place and make sure they are connected to any other services they need. I leave notes for them at the front desk and also call up to their apartments like, hey, how you doing, young man? Or how you doing, young lady? Jericho provides wonderful services for our veterans, from counseling to virtual game nights. But we also see that it's the little ways of providing dignity that can make a difference. A veteran may come to us after they have lost their job or maybe estranged from their family. But when they turn their key and walk into their apartment with fresh sheets, they can take a shower. It's like anything seems possible. It's a new beginning. Well, thank you for hearing my story and your support for veterans today.